All right, so what are we doing? Where are we? Well, we're in the shop. I know it's different. It's the shop though, and the CJ5 has developed some strange things. It's blowing out my tail lights and blowing the fuse and the fuse box up underneath the dash. It's done that twice now, which is fun. It's pleasant. And I don't know exactly what it is because that fuse is also tied into the dash lights. So in theory, it could be a short in the dash lights, or it could be a short in the lights, you know, in the wires that run to the tail lights. I don't know what it is. I drove it over here. They seem to work all right now. But it does it randomly, and when my dash lights go out, that means the running lights are out, but I still have brake lights, which is really all that you truly need. So we're going to pull it in here and see what's going on. So yeah, let's pull it in here real quick. We got it out here just idling outside. It's been running really good. It's getting a little cold nature, but it is getting a little colder these days. But let's bring the old unit in here real quick and those lights, look at it, it's like Christine. Yeah, let's pull it in here and see what's going on. Maybe we can diagnose it, or we can pretend. So it's been running really good. I made another video the other day, but I didn't post it. So basically what happened was, before the video of it gallivanting up in the mountains, I posted a video where I changed the fuel pump again. I didn't get it. I filmed another video about that, but I didn't post it because I just didn't feel like it. I didn't like it. But regardless, so what happened is after I filmed that video, these lights jack up my camera for some reason. I filmed that video. We put the new fuel pump on it. I was optimistic. Okay, I was optimistic. Let me grab my cigar. I was feeling it. It was going to be great. It's grand. Everything was going to be just wonderful. Okay. Well, that pump failed before the Jeep even cranked. Okay. So before the Jeep even cranked, it failed, and I didn't film that because I thought about just locking the shop up. And but this is my brother's shop, okay, so I can't just burn it down. But I thought about it. I thought about just throwing a Molotov through the door and walking away, maybe sitting in a rocking chair, smoking a cigar while it burns to the ground, because I'm trying to love it, and it will not cooperate. So that pump failed. I took it off. Took it back to Napa, got my money back, ordered a different one, completely different brand, because the one that's failing is a Carter. Now, Carter is not what it once was. Carter used to be a reputable company, and I think those days have sailed. So, I ordered another one, but I actually never even went and picked it up, honestly, completely forgot about it. So I'm probably going to have to reorder it. So I took the original one off the Jeep and put it back on, and that's what I was running in the video where I'm up in the mountains. That's what it's running on right now, okay? That fuel pump was fine. It was just the top of it was sketchy. So it's going to fail on me eventually, but as of right now, it's doing its job, okay? I have no idea how old it is or anything. I don't know what brand it is. So it's still working. Side note, tangent, in that video where I'm putting that fuel pump on, I talked about some history about the German liners and all that stuff. It didn't occur to me until after I'd posted it that I got some stuff wrong in that. So I went back and fact-checked myself. But this is why I don't like doing spur-of-the-moment history talks, because I've been studying this crap for a long time, and it's really easy to get it mixed up. And then, so anyway, regardless, I said there was 3 liners. There wasn't. It started out with 3 liners, but 2 of those ended up having, I think, mechanical failures or something to that effect. And so the one that was actually sank, that particular instance, was called the Wilhelm Gustav, and about 10,000 people died on it. And the Russians did sink another liner about 10 days later after that about 3,500 people died on it. But there was not, in fact, 3 liners that were sank by the Russians then. The rest of it I got right. I got the numbers wrong. So forgive me for that. I'm acknowledging it. And I went back and I put a subtitle on that video. So if you go back and rewatch it, where I corrected it and added more detail in the subtitle. Because last thing I want is for y'all to think I'm talking out of my ass, okay? Because I'm not. If I ever tell you anything that's historically inaccurate, it is not intentional, okay? It's very difficult to remember all kinds of stuff, especially when I'm doing kind of spur-of-the-moment stuff. I should prepare better, and I will make an effort to do that in the future, to have a more prepared talk. That way there's less likelihood of that occurring. But I want to be honest up front. I'm going to get stuff wrong from time to time. Now, nobody called me out on it, which I was surprised. But I take history very seriously. I'm not in the misinformation game. I don't like that. I hate shoddy history. So if I get anything wrong, I probably will correct it myself before other people notice it. But if not, then let me know, and I'll look into it, and then I will correct it. How about that? Does that work? Cigar, Jeep, okay? Another tangent here. I'm filling y'all in, so just deal with it. If you don't want to watch, you don't watch it, all right? Earlier, I cranked the Jeep, and it started rolling away. So I went, the door's open. I went to open it. To get in it, to push the brake. And I bashed my head on this right here so hard that I genuinely thought that I was going to black out, because, it's the perfect head height. So if you got a CJ5 with a hard top on it, you should probably be careful of that, because it's fiberglass, so that's always good. Anyway, back to what we were going on. My tail lights are going out, and I don't know why, and it's frustrating and it's aggravating. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. What else is going on? The hubs on the front, my locket hubs, they came loose, and I actually lost a bolt out of them. They were so loose you could move them by hand. So I had to tighten those up the other day, found another bolt to go in there, put Loctite on all of them that I could, but the way these are made, you really have to disassemble it to tighten them properly. I didn't feel like doing all that, so I just tightened them up, put some Loctite on them, so maybe they won't come back out, because the way it's made, you can't get a socket onto the top of the bolt head, which is a fabulous design, by the way. Those are tightened up. This hard top, I love the hard top, but these doors do not, if you notice, there's a gap right here, a pretty significant one. Down here, I can put my finger in it. Up here, it's a little tighter. Now, I don't know exactly what to do about that, because this is dictated, where this windshield goes is dictated by this hard top, okay? I didn't lock the windshield down till the hard top was on. Hard top is mated to the windshield, and it lines up in the back where it's supposed to, back here, like it's supposed to, okay? All that's fine, all that's kosher. But for some reason, this door doesn't line up for diddly squat, all right? Now, I can only manipulate it so much, because if I move it this way, then your latch won't work, because your latch is going to engage with the locking mechanism on that side. So right now, this door locks real good, all right? So, I don't know. I've got to put new weather stripping around it and everything, because it's not great, but it keeps the wind from blowing all over you. I'll probably just put a piece of weather stripping in here that's a little oversized to fill this gap. Wind doesn't come through it, though, surprisingly. This window is a joke. I don't like this, really at all. It doesn't really let air flow very well through the Jeep. I mean, it does, but not very well. So, I mean, it is what it is. But regardless, it's to keep the wind off of it. As the guy that I bought this hardtop from said, the hardtop is to keep some of the rain out and all of the cats. Okay, that's what he said. So, I mean, maybe we're asking for too much. So, I mean, after all, I'm wearing this get up here where I look like I just walked out of a speakeasy in 1925. So, I mean, what do I know? What do I know about anything? I'm wearing a flat cap, overalls, plaid shirt. I mean, what do I know? What do I know? I'm in the wrong century. I shouldn't even be messing with this. I should be buying a brand new 1923 Willys. That's what I should be buying, okay? So, yeah. Now, as far as diagnosing this wire issue, I don't know exactly the best way to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the lights, let them light up, and I'm going to jiggle shit until they go out and see if I can isolate the short that way, because it could be anywhere. It could be in the dash. It could be anywhere from the switch back to the tail light. All this back here is new. It's new light. New wiring, soldered all together, shrink wrapped, good stuff back there. And it's just started doing this. So either something's rubbed through, something, I don't know. It's no good. I don't know. Also, I believe it's the throw-up bearing on the transmission here is screaming. So that's pretty cool. My clutch is fine, so I'm going to run it until it dies, probably. It doesn't do it real bad. It's not as bad as my Chevrolet, which is actually, I believe, the input shaft on it rattling. It goes away when you push on the clutch, so normally that's a throw-out bearing, or it could be an input shaft. In the case of the Chevrolet, I believe it's the input shaft, because it's aggressive in the Chevrolet, but it's been doing it for about 100,000 miles, so we're going to send it, and it passed its final emissions. So if you live in the Cherokee County, basically what they call Metro Atlanta, which according to Georgia, the Metro Atlanta reaches all the way up to Chattanooga and all the way down to Macon. So everything's Metro Atlanta, but certain counties you have to do emissions, all right? I happen to live in a county where you have to do emissions. If I go one county over or one county up, I don't have to do these emissions, but unfortunately, I live in the county where I do. The Chevrolet passed its final emissions. I don't have to do emissions on the Chevrolet anymore, so... And we don't have to do emissions on this, which is good. And there's a lot to break out. There's a lot to unpackage here. My GMC, which is what I went and got this Jeep with, all the Willys, everything, it's never let me down until now. It's let me down pretty hard, people. If I didn't know any better, if I closed my eyes, it was a Ford, okay? So this is the first time I've had a GM truck catastrophically fail me. Okay, basically what happened to it is the torque converter had a malfunction, which then in turn, this is according to the mechanics in GM, deposits metal into the transmission, which in turn grenades the transmission. It's a fantastic design, isn't it? So my transmission is circling the drain. Now, fortunately, I have a warranty that allegedly will cover this, because otherwise it's $6,000 to fix this. Now, I know y'all think I'm vastly wealthy, but I'm not, okay? So I don't have $6,000 just laying around to throw at this truck that's, got 75,000 miles on it, and there's no reason for it to need a transmission. Nor am I going to spend $6,000 on a truck that has less than 100,000 miles on it that needs a transmission. Now, I asked him, is it from pulling these Willys around, these Jeeps? They said, and I quote, "It makes no difference. It's a design flaw with the torque converter and the transmission. It does not matter what you've done with it." Okay, that's some Ford-esque stuff, okay? I mean, I'm having to give some props right now. Now, normally Ford transmissions last a long time because they don't run long enough to blow out, okay? So, You know I'm going to get my digs in. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thoroughly disgusted. So as soon as that truck is fixed, we're going to liquidate it, okay? I'm not having a truck of any make or model that the tranny screams and dies on it every 50,000 miles. I'm not doing it, okay? So I'm probably going to trade it, or sell it, something, get rid of it, get a 3/4 ton, probably an early 2000s GMC or Chevrolet with a 6.0, and get that and replace that, okay? Because I'm not doing it. Not doing it. So that's kind of the plan for it. But right now that truck is over in the shop. So my daily driver as of late has been the CJ5 more often than not than the Chevrolet. So there's a lot riding on this unit, is what I'm saying. So yeah, it's a barrel of monkeys for the Red Clay Traveler, is what I'm saying. Anyway, let's try to figure out what this wiring is. I know we're 15 minutes into this video and I haven't done anything Jeep related, but if you love me and you're here for more than just the Jeeps, then maybe you like hearing me ramble about this stuff. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm sorry. So let's try to figure out what the hell is going on if we can. So we turn on the lights here and they're lit up, okay? See how they're lit up like that? This is what you want, ideally. You want them lit up like this, okay? That's what we're looking for. Now, as far as what's making the blowout, I don't know. But it's blown a 20 amp fuse and a 25 amp fuse, so apparently it's something. I don't know what it is. All I know is probably Brian Poole has something to do with it. That's all I know. Do you have something to do with it, Brian Poole? Do you? Do you, sir? I feel like you do. Get all my crap out of my pockets because it falls out into the oil. Alright, so we're going to roll up underneath here and jiggle some stuff. You know, do it the old jiggle test and see what happens. It's probably going to be great. But what I want you to do is when it goes out, if it does go out, then you let me know, okay? Cool. Oh, I shaved my head last night like Britney Spears, so my head's cold. So I'm going to try to keep this hat on so I don't get the botulism. All right, let's see. Okay. I don't see nothing. Nothing bizarre is happening here. I'm jiggling the whole wad of wires that goes into this light. Nothing's happening. Let's check the other one. Alright, now we're messing with this light. It's depositing a significant amount of dirt into my eyes, so that's pretty sick. I don't feel any cuts or tears in the wire. My shrink wrap joints feel fine. The rest of this is an loom that runs the length of the tub back here, so. Alright, you watch those wires. Watch that light. Tell me if something happens. Let's see what. Well, now I can't get it to do it again. So that's nifty. Well, I don't know, people. It won't. I can't get it to do it again, and I really need it to do it again so that I know what's going on. So I don't know. Let's move on, and we'll call that fixed for right now. How about that? Just bring some fuses with me when it blows out. I can show the cop this video and be like, look, I tried to fix it, bro. Now, I made a purchase the other day for one of these rubber grommets that help hold the hood up, because I was hoping that might calm down some of that rattling that you hear in these videos. But because it's the Regular Traveler making the purchase, I only got one of the two that I ordered. So I'm going to have to order another one. It says you only put two in, but there's a hole here and here. So I think I need to order 3 more, and that'll help support the hood. And it's just this little rubber piece that goes in there. And like I say, there's a hole here. You need another one here and one here. So I need to order 3 more of those, and I think that will help the whole bed in a house of ill repute sounds that it makes. I had to take my air cleaner off and put that tiny one back on because the other one keeps hitting the bloody hood, and I think it's just too close to it, I think, because this one doesn't appear to be doing it at all. And the Jeep doesn't run any worse at all with this on it, so I'm thinking about just leaving it on there for now until I get a chance to change the motor mounts and stuff, and then maybe I can go ahead and do that. As far as the fuel pump goes, as of right now, it's holding its own. My filter here that I've put, this plastic clear filter that I put, if you watch the other video, it's got a little bit of particulate in it, but nothing, honestly, nothing crazy. I probably should put another one before it gets to the fuel pump. That's something that Matt J, who is a regular watcher of the channel, was suggesting, that maybe put another clear filter in the line as it approaches the fuel pump. Now, theoretically, if I run it enough, I shouldn't have to run this forever. You know, all the trash will come out of the tank eventually. Whatever it is causing it will have to run out eventually. I do have to get a valve cover gasket because this thing is leaking oil pretty aggressively. And like I say, I do believe that is what I'm perceiving as a rear main seal leak. I think it's actually this valve cover, because I can look down and see that my front drive shaft is coated in Earl. My skid plate got Earl in it. So I need to do that sooner than later. Basically, it's just a bunch of little general maintenance needs to be done to this thing. I mean, we're getting there. God knows I've spent enough money on it so far, but it needs a little more. It needs a little. This is what happens when it's been neglected for forever, since 1980, basically. Other than that, it's been doing good. This new water pump it seems to be water pumping. Like I say, I'm concerned about this belt, but it hasn't done anything yet, so I'll probably wait till it does do something that I don't want it to do. This filter doesn't get too hot right here. It's not touching this valve cover, so that's good. We don't want that. We don't want it melting the fuel line. But yeah, I don't know. But basically, that's all I'm here to tell you. Just wanted to do an update People seem to like that last video where I'm not talking in it. People seem to like that. Maybe my stupid face is what's holding the channel back. So maybe I need to do more videos where I'm not talking in them. Ones like this, basically. Maybe I should do less of those. Because folks seem to prefer the ones where it's the Jeep and not me. Because I'm not even in that other video. All you see is the Jeep. Which is, you know, fine. Whatever y'all want to see. I don't know. I know some of y'all like the rambling and crap, and other ones of you don't. Where's the chair? Oh, it's over here. I know some of y'all like that, other ones don't. I know that. So, I don't know. Probably just do a mixture of different stuff. I know I need to put another video on my other channel because I've been neglecting it. So I'll probably film another video, hopefully soon for that, because I've already gotten 31 subscribers on the other channel. That video's gotten some pretty good views. As far as this channel goes, oh my goodness. As far as this channel goes, we're at 892, which is pretty respectable. We're getting there. All we got to do is get to 1,000. That's it. When we get to 1,000, we're doing a giveaway, okay? In that giveaway, I'm going to do some hats, some stickers, might even have some shirts by then. Maybe I was going to get some beanie hats, you know, because it's getting cold with it say Red Clay Traveler on them, or maybe sick or something like that. It's going to be different stuff. Maybe another one of those custom signs, maybe a custom metal sign. I'll order one of those. It's got Jubal on it, climbing the mountain, you know, different stuff. That's what I'm saying. And I think about doing a giveaway where it's more than just one person that wins it. So maybe like do the random comment generator again. Basically the same thing as last time, but I'll pick 3 people, or I'll let the comment generator thing pick 3 people. And that way, you know, you've got a better chance at winning something. A hat, sticker, shirt, what have you. Because I really want this channel to keep growing. I want more people to see it. I want more people into Jeeps. I want more people going out and buying their first Jeep or their second Jeep or their 30th Jeep. I get a lot of comments from people talking about Jeeps they're buying. And there's a guy here in Georgia that I've been talking to a lot. He just bought a CJ5, a really good looking one. I want to see that. I want to see, you know, that the channel showing these old Jeeps and stuff makes you want to buy a Jeep. That's what I want, okay? We need to save the Jeeps, all right? Save them. As many of them as we can. I was going to sell the 2-wheel drive Willys. There's a guy here in Georgia local that really wants it. But we were kind of hung up on the price a little bit and in disagreement about the tailgate. He wants the tailgate. I don't want to sell the tailgate. So, and now, I don't want to sell it at all. So, I'm probably going to keep the 2-wheel drive Willys and just bring it in here. And I even had a notion there for a minute for putting a 350 in it, because a buddy of mine's going to give me a 350 that's a running engine. And I even considered putting a 350 in it, but I think I would hate myself for that, even though it would make the truck a whole lot more usable and drivable and whatnot. I'll probably just go ahead and put the F-head in it like I originally planned. It'd be a lot easier and be probably about, you know, $1,000, $2,000 cheaper, and it would be a lot faster, okay? So the next project, Lord willing, is to bring the 2-wheel drive Willys in here, put the F-head in it. I got to put a new points, condenser, water pump, fuel pump on it. Get a new clutch, new motor mounts, put it in the truck. I've got to pull a radiator out from somewhere. I'll probably just order a radiator like the one I put in Jubal, an aluminum radiator. Put that in the truck for now, because that radiator has actually done a very good job on Jubal so far. Keeps him at a good temperature. So probably order another one of those and see if we can't get that truck operational, at least where we can drive it around in the yard. And then we've got to figure out what we're going to do about the rear end, because I'm probably not going to leave that that Timken clamshell rear end in it. I don't like those rear ends. I do not like them. They're very difficult to service. They're very difficult to work on. You can almost get no parts for them. They're not really that well built. I don't really like them. So I'll probably try to find a Dana 44 or a Dana 53. But the thing is it really needs to be the 488 gear if possible, because we don't have a front axle to contend with on that truck. So it'd be a lot better if we could get the 488 rear axle for it. And then you might be able to go 45 in that truck. Maybe. I don't know. Or we could try to track down a straight 6 that's like in the CJ5 and see if we could custom fit it in that thing. I don't know. From what I understand, some guys put them in there. Some guys say you can't put it in with a T90. I don't know. It'd be easier just to leave it factory, but I would like to drive it. And these trucks, I love them, but when they go 30 on dead level flat ground, they're just not very pleasant to drive. They're just not. I mean, it's hard to even drive them to town. So, I don't know. What I'm saying is there's options. And also, I very much want to buy a wagon and basically buy the wagon, take the body off of it, and put this drivetrain that's in the CJ5, this exact one, 258 straight 6, Dana 300 transfer case. I think this transmission's a T176 or some crap, the 4-speed, with its belly pan, and put that in the wagon. So then you'll have a Willys wagon with a really good transfer case, which the Dana 18 was a good transfer case. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying, just for ease of conversion, you have this straight 6 in it, Dana 300, and a factory 4-speed that you don't have to shove a aftermarket overdrive on, or a Borg Warner overdrive, or any of that Saturn, any of that crap. And the Jeep will stay pretty much very original looking. And it'll have that belly pan, like this, the belly pan that holds the whole end of this drivetrain up. You just mount that to the frame of the wagon. So then you're free to position it wherever it needs to be, and you take the body off so that you have the movement. Or I might be able to sneak it in there with the body on, because I need to make sure it'll clear the firewall. So I don't know. What I'm saying is I would very much like to do that. Wagons are cheap, especially if you buy a wagon that's not the greatest shape, because I'm obviously not going to do this to a wagon that's got a good running gear in it. Basically, what I want to retain in the wagon is its body, its steering, its frame, and its axles. As far as the rest of it goes, it will be CJ5 components. I think that'd be pretty sick. And that should make that wagon, even if it's got 538 gears in it, should make it where it could go probably 55, 60-ish, something like that. I don't know. This Jeep will do 80. I don't know what gears are in it. Obviously, it's not 538. But, figure if it's got 538, which is what most Willys things had, I think you'd be able to reliably go around 55 or 60, which is about as fast as you'd want to go in a wagon anyway. But then you can have like the ultimate off-road rig, 4-wheel drive wagon, 4-speed, 258 straight 6. You could sleep in the back of it. You could put your dog in the back of it, which, by the way, I've still got the dog. I haven't had it back on the channel yet. I still haven't named it yet either. I can't decide on a name for that dog for nothing. But trying to get it acclimated to other dogs. The dog has been abused very badly in the past, so it still doesn't trust me completely. It still cowers and stuff. So I'm trying to let it get acclimated to its new surroundings, everything, give it a little bit more time, show it other dogs and stuff, and try to get it calmed down, because it's very aggressive towards other dogs and cats. It does not like cats at all, and it doesn't like other dogs. So I'm trying to get it kind of chill, feeding it every day. It's gained a bunch of weight, so it looks better. It's in very good shape. It's in good hands. I'm taking care of it. But it just, I'm trying to let it calm down and get used to me and its new surroundings before I start dragging it around everywhere. Because I want to take it camping. I want it riding in the Jeep with me and stuff. But the way it is right now, it's not going to behave very well. So I'm going to try to break it in kind of slow. I drive it around in the truck with me all the time. I haven't had it in the CJ5 because I don't want it freaking out from the noise and stuff, because the CJ5 is much louder than riding in a newer truck. So anyway, this video is rambling. We're 38 minutes in and I haven't done diddly squat. But basically, I wanted to make a video, give you updates on the CJ5, give you the talk about the fuel pump. Don't buy a Carter fuel pump. Don't do it. Or at least if you do, don't buy it from Napa. And basically kind of tell you an update on the channel as a whole, where we're at, what we're looking at doing in the future. I'm going to be traveling a lot here soon. Next week, I will be going to Ohio and to Chicago, which, yay, you know that's what I'm all about, is going to Chicago. Why, Red Clay Traveler really likes big cities and stuff, I mean, it's obvious. So I'll probably bring my camera for that, and if I see any Willys trucks or anything neat like that will be good for either channel, I'll film that. Maybe we buy one while we're out there. Maybe we buy one, we rent a trailer, we bring it back. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm Red Clay Traveler. And until next time, until the next video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and smash it. Hit the like button. If you don't want to subscribe, hit the like button. Comment, share. It helps me every time y'all hit the like button. It helps me in the algorithm. It helps YouTube promote my videos. Every time you comment, it does the same thing. And obviously, subscriptions help as well. So if y'all were willing to do that, if I could earn y'all's watch time, I would appreciate it. You're going to keep seeing more videos of my stupid face. You're going to keep seeing Jeeps. You're going to keep seeing it all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for all those that have already subscribed and all the comments you leave me and everything and all the support. I really appreciate it. It means a lot more than you know. But yeah, until the next video, I'm planning a camping trip again here really soon. I'm taking the CJ5. Whether the taillights work or not, I'm taking it. So that should be good. I'm also tentatively planning doing another one with Jubal. Take it back out in the mountains. It's a little bit more of a production to take Jubal because I have to haul him on a trailer. So either way, all that crap's coming up. There'll be more stuff coming up. And I'm going to start putting more videos on my other channel, Red Clay Garage. So keep an eye on that as well. And you'll see content on both channels. So I appreciate you. I'm Red Clay Traveler. Don't forget, Jeep for life. Jeep. Smoke them if you got them. Jeep. Get it. Yeah, buddy.